I want to show you something real quick. That number right here that you see, $3 million in scholarship aid and offers, is something that I secured for myself as a high school senior. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, wasn't a straight A student, definitely didn't have the highest test scores. But in the next 10 minutes, I am going to show you how you guys can do the same. I figured out the system and I'm going to walk you through exactly what I did for free right here. So stay with me because if you have a kid going to college or if you are that student thinking about college, this might be the most important 10 minutes you'll watch today. So before I get into it, I just want to make sure you're in the right place. If you're a parent sitting there scared that college is about to wipe out everything you've saved, this video for you. If you're a kid, a student who isn't a straight A student and you think that automatically kills your chances of getting money, this video is for you. If you filled out the FAFSA and figured that's all there is, this video is for you. And if applications are already opening and you're sitting there without a real plan yet, please keep watching because I was exactly in that spot, but I figured it out. Okay, so before anything else, I have to always address this because this is one belief that stops most families before even they try. Scholarships are only for straight A students. I hear this constantly. Parents say it in our consultations. Students believe this before they even apply. And it's truly not true. I know it's not true because I wasn't a straight A student and I definitely didn't have high test scores. And I still personally managed to secure over $3 million in scholarships. There are thousands of scholarships out there with zero GPA requirements, zero. What they care about is your story, your identity, your community, your fit. Most families don't know, so they never apply, which means the people who do apply have way less competition. You see where I'm going with this? So let me tell you a bit about where I came from. As I mentioned, I came from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the youngest of four girls. And, we weren't broke. We definitely grew up low income, but we also weren't comfortable. And college is expensive. Whether you're making a lot of money or you're lower income, college costs can really eat up a lot of savings and it can really change the trajectory of home ownership and all the things if you get bundled down with so many loans. So I started digging. Luckily, I had an older sister, Dr. Smith. She was a Gates Scholar. She went on a full ride, and I really learned a lot from her. I started looking for those scholarships and really making sure that I was a well rounded individual. I found scholarships nobody else applied for. I made sure that I didn't avoid the big costs or the big number scholarships and the lower number scholarships. So, what I mean by that is like, I wasn't passing up the $500 scholarships. I was applying to the $500 scholarships, $1,000 scholarships, $1,500 scholarships, and I was really able to stack my awards. I also honed in on my storytelling. It is your story that's going to get you the money. I tell my students all the time, if you know how to write, you can get them money on. And so the result of that was me securing $3 million. And that's why I'm standing here telling you, or sitting here telling you, that this actually works. So let me show you how I was able to do it. So here's something most families don't know. There's actually three main types of scholarships. You have your merit-based scholarships, your need-based scholarships, and then you also have those private and niche-based scholarships. Now, private and niche-based scholarships, these are really like your community, your church organizations that might have these scholarships, but the main ones will be those merit-based and need-based scholarships. The main way I like to differentiate is merit-based is a scholarship based off of your merit, so that can be your GPA, your scores, your tests. It really looks at you as an individual. And your need-based scholarships really focus on your income as well as FAFSA. And sometimes there are scholarships that might not have a certain number breakdown. So they might not say, oh, your family household income needs to be under 125,000. They might just say you need to show proof of need. I think everybody has need. So when you do come to that need-based opportunity, you do want to make sure that you qualify because more people actually qualify than they actually think. However, the majority of my $3 million in scholarships came from the type 2 and type 3, the ones nobody else was looking for. So when I tell you to stop only chasing the big name awards, this is exactly why. So, of course, the next question is, how do you find these scholarships? Because they're not all sitting on the first page of Google. First, local businesses, Rotary clubs, chambers of commerce, credit unions. These organizations give out money every single year, and the applicant pool is tiny because no one really thinks to look there. Second is like faith based communities. I personally secured three scholarships from churches that I never even attended. And that is how you're able to really make sure you're maximizing opportunities in your community. Third is your employer or your spouse's employer. HR departments have scholarship funds for employees' kids that go unclaimed every single year. Yes, unclaimed. So you might really just need to ask and see what opportunities are out there for you. Fourth is identity scholarships. And I mean niche. So that might be your first generation, your college students, students from a specific country, students interested in a specific trade, students who are left handed. And I'm not even joking. If your kid has anything unique about them, this is a great scholarship pool for them. And then fifth is going to be your state scholarship databases. Every single state has one. Go beyond FAFSA. There's money sitting in your state right now for students that want to go to college, and many students are leaving that on the table. So I want you to go ahead and write these down, screenshot this slide, because this is the stuff they don't put in the college prep brochures. Okay, so now you know where to find the scholarships. The next thing is understanding what makes or breaks your essay. Y'all, again, if you know how to write, I'm a believer that you can get anything you want. And most students write their essays like a resume. They list all the activities, they talk about their GPA, they sound exactly like every other applicant. What wins is a story. And I learned this the hard way, y'all. I was actually rejected over 30 times before I won my first scholarship. So it really took me a lot of time and just updating my essays and refining my essays to be able to get to my 3 million. So I teach a four-part formula: the hook, challenge, turn, and vision. The hook is your very first line. You don't want to always start with, I have always wanted to go to college. You want to open with the moment. Put the reader somewhere real. The challenge is your actual obstacle. Not it was hard. Be specific. I always tell people, I want to feel your essay. I want to feel what you went through. What were you really up against financially, personally, and your family? That specificity is what makes something feel real. The turn is what changed. What did you decide? What did you do? What did you learn about yourself? This is where your character actually shows up on the page. And the vision, you connect your future to their mission. You make them feel like giving you this scholarship is an investment, not just charity. So I've seen students with 2.8 GPAs, 1.5 GPAs, and of course the 4.0 GPAs win so much money because their story was just more real. So this formula 100% works. Now, let me save you some mistakes that I made really early on, and I see families making this every single day. One, only applying to the big $10,000 awards. Everyone and their mama goes for these awards, okay? So going for those $500 awards, $1,000 awards is really important to apply for those and just stack them. That's how you build real money. Two, waiting until senior year. I started early. Some awards are specifically for younger students. Don't wait. Now, I started early, but not really. I really started around September of my senior year of high school. However, my sister, she secured her first scholarship in middle school. So, ideally, with securing degrees, we like to start with students as early as junior year of high school because there are some scholarships you can only apply for throughout your junior year. Number three is sending the same essay to every scholarship. They can tell. We can tell. Each essay needs to speak directly to that organization. Number four is missing deadlines. I get it. Okay. That's why at Securing Degrees, our students have their own personalized tracker that actually helps them be able to find, apply for, and secure the scholarship. And five, and this one is big, giving up after rejections. I was rejected a lot, as I mentioned, over 30 times. My $3 million came from applying over and over and over again. Rejection is not a verdict on you or your kid, it is just a part of the process. So this is the actual system, 5 steps. I built this from everything I learned, and this is what I teach students through our Secure Degrees platform. Step one is you always want to audit. Before you apply to anything, you need to know your student story. Who are you? You need to be able to build that scholarship bullet point list and bulletproof list. Step two is to search. Luckily, with Secure Degrees, we're able to identify scholarships for students based off of their profile. We're matching students to scholarships every single day. Ideally, between 50 to 100 scholarships throughout their term, but honestly, every single week, we've been adding more and more scholarships. And we're finding scholarships amongst all 3 types. So the niche, merit based, and financial based. Next is match. You want to be prioritizing by fit and deadline. With Secure Degrees, we prioritize scholarships over $20,000, but we also prioritize those local and those regional scholarships. Fourth is right. It's time to write these scholarship essays. With Securing Degrees, because I know how much writing is so important to actually winning scholarships, we actually edit and provide feedback for every single scholarship students submit out through our platform. We also have scholarship office hours at least 2 times a week where students are able to drop in and get questions in real time from scholarship coaches that have secured at least $100,000 in scholarships. And then the last one, number 5, you want to stack. You want to submit, you want to track, and you want to repeat this process. I tell my students all the time, you continue applying to scholarships until you're done with school. So even like myself, I already had college on a full ride. I still applied and won scholarships throughout my college years. So at Secure Degrees, we have real results. As I mentioned, I secured $3 million in scholarships myself, which ultimately allowed me and motivated me and inspired me to create Secure Degrees. But my students have secured well over $60 million in private scholarship funding. We have so many students that we've been able to support, not just students with straight A's. In fact, over 90% of my students are not straight A students, okay? So it's going to be so important that you take these tools that I taught you today and you really start to go crazy on the scholarship process. There is never a right time to start applying to scholarships. Now is the time. All right, before I let you go, I want to give you something you can actually use today, not next week, but today. Today, I want you to write down 3 things that makes you or your student unique. Not your GPA, but your story, your background, something real about who you are. Just 3 things. This week, I want you to open a free spreadsheet. You can also go to securedegrees.org and we can build that spreadsheet for you. But I want you to start tracking your scholarship deadlines. Look up your state scholarship database. Find 10 local scholarships in your area. This month, submit your first applications. Go ask your teachers for those recommendations right now before they get flooded and come talk to me. That last one is free. We have free consultations. So if you go to securedegrees.org, we have program fit calls where you can learn about the work that we're doing to help students graduate debt free and obtain a debt free education. These calls are completely free, so it's really an opportunity for us to learn more about your needs and help you find the best program so we can help you accomplish your goals. We'll look at your student specific situation and tell you exactly where those opportunities are and where we can help you. And the link is in the description. Look, I made this video because I wanted to ensure that every single student understands that free college can be the new normal. At Securing Degrees, we have supported over 10,000 families and securing well over $60 million in private scholarship funding. You do not have to overpay for college, but you need a plan. So I hope this was a wake up call. I hope that this inspired you to go ahead out there and start applying to scholarships. And if you need any support, make sure you visit us at www.securingdegrees.org. And I can't wait to support you on your scholarship journey. Bye.